The whole reason they couldn't show the trailer is that, like, someone typed in the fax number wrong and they didn't get the document.
100%. Hi guys! Welcome to LoveCast, the Boys Love Podcast. I'm your host, Pixie, and with me are my co-hosts, Kayla and Alexa.
Hey.
Hello.
A tiny bit heads up for those who might notice that I sound a little bit weird. I am a tiny bit sick, just 2 days after getting home from America. But we are going through this because I could not be a part of this.
Right.
I needed to be a part of this.
We need the opinionated Pixie in full force for
Like,
this.
Dude, we're going through the GMMTV showcase. There's a lot of opinions to be had. I need to be here.
As
Yes.
Kayla said on Twitter, this is like the Super Bowl for BL fans. So this is like, it
really
has to
is.
be talked about.
Whenever my favorite
100%.
actor is in a show, it's like I am a fantasy football player. And I'm putting them into roles and then seeing if they stick. It's so
Can I mention to you that it's a little bit weird seeing you guys on the screen now?
I know it is. It is really weird.
For those who don't know, we recorded in person over last week.
Last weekend, yeah.
Yes, and that's an episode you won't be able to watch until the end of the year. So
Spoiler alert is coming. If you didn't, I mean, unless you're not following us on social media, which you should be, you would have known that we were together last weekend.
Yeah, there's
so.
a lot of pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Go check them out.
Yes. Yes.
So, we're gonna go through all the shows, yes, and talk a little bit about our initial thoughts about these shows. So, the first one out is Boss and a Babe. It's about an esports gamer book. He is forced to do an internship where after noticing his boss is weirdly into him, realizes he's a fan of his streaming working? Is that
Streaming work.
streaming?
Typo.
Streaming work. Sorry. Workplace rom-com, boss intern relationship. That's a little bit okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have Forspook, who are the main couple. You have Fluke from Enchante and Ohm, who's a GMMT rookie, as the secondary. And you have Mike, Drake, and Thor from Star and Sky supporting, and Pinu from Wabi Sabi directing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thoughts?
My first thought about this trailer is that the title is tragic. I hate
it. I hate it
so much.
I hate it. Yes.
Just saying it is a boss and a babe. It's so cringy. And like, I don't know if there's a history of GMMTV like changing the title of the shows between
There is.
the pilot and the final, but like I hope they change it into something a little bit more like concise. I don't know.
I mean, a boss and a babe sounds like a freaking like the pig movie, the Babe movie.
Exactly. That's why I hate the word babe, because it reminds me of the pig movie. I don't like it at all.
Am I showing how old I am? Oh my god.
New title.
Yeah.
Heather says new title Boss Babe, but then I just
That's
think of
worse.
Boss Baby.
I
Is there a good title for this out there?
As a non-English speaker, like main speaker, the word babe is weird to me.
Yeah, it's so
It
weird.
is. It's weird to me too.
I can get along with calling people like baby because I've grown up with seeing that on TV, but babe sounds very wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that I don't know. That was my first initial thought when I saw the trailer. But otherwise, like, okay, I am very, like, neutral about Forspook. I didn't watch Enchante, so I don't really have any connection to that pairing yet, but I mean, I like office rom-coms. I'm super here for all of the office rom-coms that seem to be coming out in 2023. Fantastic. Yeah, but the boss and intern dynamic, I feel like that's basically what every office rom-com is gonna end up being. But yeah, I don't know. It seems cute enough is basically how I feel about it.
That's my issue with it. Like, I think one of the reasons why I just, like, it's my least favorite trailer is because it's too cutesy. They're making, like, a relationship between a boss and an intern cutesy. And I just can't get on with that. Like, no.
Yeah, no. See, I love the concept of him being secretly a fan of the esports gamer.
I do like that concept.
I like that concept. I think it's really unique, but I'm wondering how forceful the boss is going to be, like, in the series. Like, is he going to be, like, weirdly stalker-ish? And like pushing himself.
It kind of gave that vibe when he was just like asking him to talk and like saying he wants to hear his voice and stuff like that. Like, if my boss was saying that to me with no context, I would be leaving that company.
Calling HR up. Yeah. I don't know. I think I could go either way with this one because I watched most of Enchante and I really liked Force and Book in it, but I don't know. I don't know if it's going to end up being as cutesy as Pixie said, or if they're going to make it more serious, because it does seem like it would be more serious of a relationship between them.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to have like a workplace story, you at least need to make it a little bit adult. I have an issue with it seeming very childish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get a childish vibe from it, and that's not good.
I think the thing with a lot of GMMTV's pilot trailers is they tend to go really heavy on the, especially like at least for like the romantic comedies, they tend to go very heavy on like the over the top comedy element. And in the past, I've, at least from the shows that I've actually watched after the pilot trailer, it does seem like that aspect gets toned down in the final product. I guess they play it up just to like gain interest. I don't know, like, you know, but yeah, I think the childish comedy, like the opening scene and Book's lines in the opening scene of the trailer were a little bit like over the top and cheesy kind of, and that kind of set the tone for the trailer. But I do think based on their history, they'll hopefully like even out the tone a little bit for the final product.
Yeah. I mean, in these initial trailers, no one has really gotten into the show. They don't really know how it's going to look. So I think they are monitoring responses to it as well. Before, and
historically, they do change a lot based on audience reactions that we've seen in the past. I mean, sometimes the final product is like completely different than the pilot trailer. So
yeah. So next is Hidden Agenda. A nerd, played by Dunk, wants to date a popular girl, so he goes to her ex, who is played by Jung, to ask him for advice on how to hit on her. It's a universe romance. So Jung Dunk, main pairing, Ao Boom, secondary pairing, established couple, Jamie, Pod, Guy, Louis, Arm, and AJ supporting. Speculation from the trailer of a Pod Guy ship. And PT is directing. He works for D-Hub House.
Yeah, he did Lovely Writer, Something in My Room, all of that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I'm just excited for All and Boom. Like, I've been saying this to you guys, even though none of you watch Vice Versa, about how excited I am for their potential in GMMTV 2023 and like what kind of role they would get. So, yeah, I knew they were going to get something because GMMTV has been promoting them so hard. And so I'm hoping like with them being shown as a secondary couple in this trailer that they'll get a little bit more screen time than they did in Vice Versa, because they were kind of like a very small piece of Vice Versa. So hopefully they'll start secondary here and then like...
Did I hear a rumor that Ao Boom's characters are getting married in the show?
Yeah, so their
What?
whole thing in the trailer was, I guess they're presidents of some
Oh.
kind of club, and they're talking about like basically their life plans and how they want to get married and have
Yeah.
kids, whether it be through adoption or IVF, or is that IVF? Is that correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's what's really I like established couple dynamics. So I'm really excited,
Yeah.
especially if it seems like there's not going to be like a useless breakup coming from an established couple. So yeah, I'm really excited to see that.
I do love that they are putting that into the story, kind of highlighting how gay couples can do the exact same thing as straight couples can. It's really
Like
not
having
that
plans
difficult.
to establish a family and going through with those plans. Yeah. But yeah, I'm here for Boom. Heather said, I'm the president of the fan club. I will gladly accept that role.
I was very excited watching it. I did not watch the other show with Young and Dong.
Oh, the Star and Sky.
Yeah, I didn't watch that.
Yeah.
But I really like this trailer. I like the hidden part of it. Like there's something going on
secrets.
there that they aren't
Yeah.
telling us, and I
Secrets
want
are
to
being
know
kept.
what it is
Yeah.
badly.
Yeah. Yeah, same. I thought Star in My Mind was super boring. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping that this series does Jung and Dunk justice, because I really like them as people and I want to see more of
Same.
them. I also like the concept here of Dunk being deceived by everybody, because I think it'll be interesting to see how he deals with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It seems like it's a role that is going to allow them to show their acting chops more. Because Star
Yeah,
and Sky,
exactly.
their role was also like a university romance, but
Yeah. Very fluff.
yeah, very fluff, very flat, stereotypical,
Yeah.
like what you expect from a university themed BL.
Nothing complicated about the characters,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, but I feel like this one is going to showcase a lot more complicated relationships and dynamics. And I honestly kind of love the idea of like wanting to hit on someone, so you go ask their ex for advice and then end up falling for their ex. Like, I don't know. I think that's like a really interesting dynamic to kind of play off. So I think it'll be cool to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same. No, there's a lot that could happen in this, and that like you just don't like from the trailer. You have no idea how that's gonna end up.
It's a
Who
cliffhanger.
knows?
Heather wants to talk about the final line in the trailer after the kiss, where he was asking if that's how the girl likes to kiss, and he was like, no, that's how I like to kiss. That was pretty cute. That was pretty cute, I will say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's being upfront. You can't
Seems
say
like
that like
Pixie's
he's
kind of
deceiving him
dynamic.
in any way. It's very cheeky. I do like
Yeah.
cheeky characters. I really enjoy cheekiness.
Yeah, Jung's character seems like he's gonna be very heavy on the cheekiness factor
And
throughout all of
he
it.
fits playing a character with a lot of cheek.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, he does. I'm excited for that.
Yes. So next up we have the gun off gun. Cooking Crush, which we manifested.
Yes, we did.
Yes.
A disaster-prone chef needs money to keep his restaurant afloat. He meets a medical student who wants to learn how to cook and decides to scam him for money. It's a fantastic rom-com. So Afghan main couple Mark and Neo are secondary. I did not see that one coming.
R.I.P.
Golf.
Neo and Louis.
I know.
Golf, from who directed Cupid's Last Wish and Fish
on the Sky.
Upon the Sky. Yeah.
Yeah. I was so excited to see this. We put out a poll on our Twitter before the showcase started about how, like, what the likelihood of getting another Afghan series was. And, like, more than 50% of the votes were basically like, "Are you kidding? It's never gonna happen." So
guess
when the trailer
what?
came
In your
up,
face.
Guess what?
we manifested it. So like when the trailer started playing, I was so excited, and that was this is one of the things I wanted to see from Off Gun that I talked about in our deep dive, is like a rom-com
Go watch
where
that if you haven't.
watch it if you haven't. LoveCast manifesting skills are on 100, so if there's anything else you want us to manifest in the future, just let us know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm so excited. Like, I know some people were, I guess, disappointed because they think it's not going to do justice to Gunn's acting skills. But I also think there's
Can they stop? They do this
skill
every time he's in a show. They do that with Not Me Too.
There's skill to be used in acting in a comedy as well. Like, comedic acting takes skill. Like, we've seen plenty of times where actors try to be comedic and it just comes off as, like, not the vibe. So, I don't know. I just feel like, just let the dude act in different things.
Theory of Love was hilarious.
Yeah,
right.
Very true. The shower scene.
Yeah.
Well, that's
the
peak
shower
comedy.
Scene.
Oh.
That is peak comedy right there.
It is. And he played it off perfectly. Like, if anything, I have like full 100. I never doubt Gunn in anything. He is so good.
Yeah. Also, I heard that Gunn is actually the one who asked the director to put them in a romantic comedy.
Yeah,
because
so, like,
he wanted to do something like
do.
upbeat and happy.
Yeah,
So
I mean, both Not Me and Theory of Love did have comedic moments, but it was also like really depressing at times. Yeah. So it'll be nice to just see them in like a full rom-com and just get to have fun with it.
Yeah, I mean, playing in a show like Not Me has to be like mentally taxing. Putting yourself into that character. So having like comedic shows in between, it's just like it's a mental reset. Just like having fun. Who doesn't want to have fun?
Yeah, and they have other series outside of their ship that they're doing that can also expand their acting chops if they need to. Like Gunn is in like this fantasy, dark, twisted mystery thing.
I'm excited for that one too.
Yeah, so, like, Off also has, like, the Midnight series coming and stuff like that. So, it kind of is, like, gives me vibes that, like, people don't care to see their acting outside of BLs, which, like, that's fine if you just want to watch the BLs, like, you know, do what you want to do. But, like, they can have fun together, and, like, they're obviously a pairing that has a lot of fun together and enjoys acting together in that way, and also have other projects that are expanding into different genres and stuff at the same time. So it's like this idea that like doing a comedy romance is like a step down, but like I don't think that's the case.
No, it's just a different genre. I really don't like when people look down on other genres because they're not as highbrow, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, comedic timing is really hard to get down. You can't.
Comedy is an art. Like
dude, and a lot of the lines that get thrown around in comedies are ad-libs, and that's not easy.
Yeah, I think that takes a lot of, like, a good dynamic and a lot of trust between actors to be able to, like, ad-lib back and forth and stuff like that. So, like, if anyone can do that, it's, like,
over and over again, making new
different types of
lines
lines.
every time. It's an insane skill to have.
Yeah.
So I will say though, watching the trailer, I was very confused. the storytelling in that trailer was all over the place. I had no idea what was going on. Like, I needed this description because I could not explain it.
Yeah, to be honest, like, I wasn't quite sure what was going on until I read the description, but then I read it and went back and, like, watched the trailer again, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. Like,
yes, but Alexa, you shouldn't need to read a book to understand
yeah.
it.
I know.
So I'm not so impressed about the trailer. I think like it feels like they threw it together in the last minute.
Maybe they did. Who knows?
Oh my gosh. I think this one has a great cast too. Like Victor, I loved him in The Gifted. And then we have like Apple and Neo. Like it's a good cast. I'm excited to see all of them working together.
Did you guys see Mark and Neo happening?
No.
Because I feel like we were firmly on like Neo Lou, you're gonna have another show together, but I guess GMMTV was like, nope, because Neo and Mark are in two different shows together as like a pairing, so I guess that's the route that they're going. I mean, I think from the trailers we've seen, they have some decent chemistry, but it's just like, I'd never even realized that was a possibility that could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it does feel like GMMTV are trying to test out Neo and Louis where they fit in the place. So, and obviously they have more information than we do, so maybe this is better. I mean, Neo and Louis are still friends. You will probably still see them together at times.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of, in general, talk about like, this person only has a support role in the show and that kind of stuff. And I know Louis was one of those people because I think he really did only have like 1 or 2 support roles that he showed up in. But I also think like we have to take into account like their lives outside of GMMTV. Like, you know, my guy's trying to be a pilot, so who knows? Like, he might be focusing more on school this year, or might have some other stuff going on that he's like stepping back from acting for a little bit. So yeah, I'm sure there was a reasoning to it. I just know like it kind of sucks when you're like on board for a ship, and like I feel like especially with the eclipse just having recently ended, a lot of people were like really heavy on the Neo and Louis train, and now it's kind of like we're going somewhere else, but I'm here for it.
I will say that I hope there aren't like any like racist jokes in it.
Oh, because of Fish Upon the Sky.
Upon the Sky.
Oh.
Yeah. I was
I mean,
like,
the director was completely denying that
like,
was a bad thing.
Mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I think, Cupid's Last Wish seems to have gotten good reception, so, like, hopefully the director has learned from the backlash that he got with Fish Upon the Sky, but, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, he wasn't learning on Twitter when it happened, though. Like, he was, like, retweeting people supporting him.
Yeah.
In that joke. Just like, yeah.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, like, I don't want to judge anything before you see it. I think starting to, like, cancel things without knowing how it'll be is ridiculous, and people need space to grow, and you need to give people chances, so...
Yeah. It's
We're
a fair
giving
worry, though.
him a chance. If it goes to hell, the torches come out.
Torches.
Pixie will burn the torch line herself.
Okay, so next is Last Twilight. It's a mechanic played by Jimmy, struggling to pay off debts. Takes on a high-paying job as a caretaker to a rich heir who is slowly going blind after an accident.
I am already ready for the angst with this one. I'm so excited for the angst.
Listen, maybe I'm biased because it's Jimmy C, and like I've been all in for them since Vice Versa, but also this trailer.
We haven't noticed.
I've not talked about it at all. Like, I don't know. Maybe you guys didn't know that, but the angst in the trailer, the whole idea of the storyline of like someone who's going blind and you come in as their caretaker, and like P. Oaf is directing, like and he said that he chose Jimmy and C for the roles, like he had them in mind for this story, so like I'm so excited for it. I'm so excited.
I will say I'm actually excited too.
Jimmy. We're back to like bad
fluffy,
boy Jimmy.
So I am fine.
Pixie saw Jimmy smoking and was like, "Yeah, I'm here for it."
We're here. We're back. We're back to bad buddy Jimmy.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch Vice Versa, obviously, so I don't really know what Jimmy and C have in terms of chemistry. But judging by the trailer, I was like, "This is good. This is about to be a great story."
I just need Jimmy to be brooding and sad.
I think he will be.
This looks like it delivers on that front. Like the low income mechanic, like the needing to pay off his debts. It's the perfect recipe for a brooding male lead character.
I'm here for it.
But yeah, I'm super excited. I think it's nice to see, like, vice versa, I think was also a very interesting plot, especially for, like, Jimmy C coming in as a new couple. So it makes me excited that they're getting a lot of interesting storylines from GMMTV, and knowing P.O.F. is behind this is like, if we can trust one man in the directing industry, it's P.O.F. and some others, but, like, I have no doubt that this is going to be, like, as beautiful as the pilot trailer looked.
Yeah, I mean, P.O.F. gave us First and Cow, so...
Yeah. He can be trusted. He can be trusted with everything.
No, I like, you guys know, I love dark stuff. So, this is right up my alley. Like, the angst and the sadness and...
Yeah.
I don't like fluffy sadness, but I like angsty sadness.
Emotional sadness.
Yeah. Felt that. I don't think we've ever gotten a BL like this before. Like, have we had one that dealt with someone being blind? I don't think
so.
There
has been.
Okay, so there is a Vietnamese, very low budget BL that deals with a blind guy. It's not good.
Okay.
Oh. Well,
I can't tell if you're saying it's not good because the representation was bad or because the quality was bad.
Actor is doing good as like a blind person.
Yeah.
And all the actors are doing fine, and the budget, even though it's low, it's fine. The problem with it is the story. Like, the plot of it is like a mess. So yeah. But that's the same thing, like a caretaker sort of blind person caretaker relationship.
Interesting. Oh. I would say I will check it out, but you said it's bad, so I don't know.
Yeah, watch Loveville instead. It's much better.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Only Friends. A group of uni friends are all involved with each other romantically and sexually.
I was trying to write the plot synopsis for this show, and like, I was like, that's the plot. Like, what else is there to it? That's the plot.
It's a huge orgy.
Oh my god.
Orgy.
Basically.
So, the mains are Forsbook, First Cow, and Mark and EO. And P. Jojo is directing. And he did mention that it's along the line of friend zone level toxic.
Yeah. Dude, the trailer was, I mean, I loved every moment of friend zone and all the chaos and all the toxicity and how messy it was. Like, I watched both seasons of that show. Literally, it's like friend zone, but everyone is gay.
Yeah, literally.
So I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
I saw this and I have no idea what's going on in the trailer. I am literally so excited for the drama, the chaos, it's so chaotic. I am here.
Dude, that 2-second clip of Force and Neo like making out has been all over my timeline on both of my Twitter accounts. It just pops up like every other tweet.
It's gonna be so messy.
People are set off by this trailer.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I think it has significantly more views than all the other ones, too.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, I mean, I can watch it a couple of hundred more times.
Oh my gosh.
Pixie's just like excited about seeing First and Cowtongue again.
Yeah, that too.
So am I. That's my main thing.
But I was more excited about this show than Our Sky.
Yeah, well, that's fair. It's nice to see them in something new and like something. I don't know.
It feels very
just
adult
love the messiness.
with the sex theme in it. It feels very adult. And we can't like talk about this and not go into like the drama that's been going on online.
Yeah. So it's gotten some backlash from, I basically like the use of sex, and particularly like this, a Thai person made a tweet that was like, why are so many BL shows only focused on the sex? And like P. Jojo ended up quoting it and going into like what he wants the series to be and how he's trying to capture realistic aspects of being a gay adult, because like sex is part of being gay, sex is part of being straight, like sex is part of adult relationships. So I think we've kind of gotten into sex, this,
and I know that.
Yeah. I think we've gotten kind of into this weird dichotomy with BL shows, is that like people are mad if there's no sex in it, because then they think it's trying to like purify gay relationships. But then you get a show like this that's kind of based around messy sex and messy relationships, and then people think you're villainizing the queer community. And there's examples both ways, I think. You know, there are shows that have been so fluffy to the point of, like, trying to purify queerness.
Yeah.
And shows that have also, you know, used sex as a way to make gayness seem bad. Yeah, check out. But, like, I think P. Jojo, as a queer person, and seeing his previous works, he did Three Will Be Free, he did Friend Zone, like, this is his genre.
There's a lot of sex in Friend Zone, isn't there?
Yeah.
This is his genre. Like, these adult-themed, messy shows, he's good at them, and he knows how to bring the realism out in these type of relationships without trying to objectify people or trying to overly purify or villainize or fetishize. Like, this is what he's good at, and I think this is what the kind of series that he likes to do. So, like, if anyone was going to do a show like this, like, P. Jojo is the one to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think the people who are mad about the sex need to look at themselves a little bit, because they are the one fetishizing the sex. We're watching a show that's chaotic, messy, intricate. There's a lot of layers. There's a lot of things happening. And sex is a part of that. But we're not focusing on just watching it for hot sex. That's not why we're watching it. But when
that's not why it's being made either. Like, that's not his intention with making the show.
But when you say that a show with that much sex in it is just for fan service, it's just for to get people to watch it, you're the one fetishizing the sex in it.
It's it's a weird point, considering I thought the whole point of normalizing gay relationships was to show people that we're normal. And I feel like the argument against P. Jojo and maybe the themes in the series, it reminds me a lot of like that mindset of I'm a better insert minority group than you. It reminds me a lot of that kind of like pick me type energy.
Yeah.
And I don't like it.
Like, from growing up, but Norway is pretty sex positive. Like, I didn't grow up with a lot of like slut shaming and people have random sex. We don't focus. Like, I have never gotten the question how many partners I've had, and I've never asked my partners how many partners. Like, we don't care. It doesn't matter. Sex is normal. So I get so surprised when watching cultures who are have this whole purity thing going, and I don't understand why, when it's such a natural part of life. Like, are you just gonna do it behind closed door and not talk about it?
I mean, that's what it is. Like, that's what it comes back to, these certain, like, and this is like, I mean, purity culture is huge in America. I mean, it ties a lot back to different religions and colonization and all that fun stuff. But they see sex as dirty. And I think it goes back into, like, if you want to see queer people having sex, they want to see it in the way that they want to view it, as opposed to how it actually is in real life. So, you know, sex is fine when it's in something like Kin Porsche, where you can take it out of reality completely and view it through the lens that you want to view it in. But when you have a series like this, that's grounded in reality and is trying to reflect like the realism of these relationships and how messy they can be, then like you can't write it off as just a fantasy or something that you're keeping behind closed doors. And I think that's a lot of why people are having an issue with it.
Yeah. I do find it a little hypocritical for the people who are against like showing gay sex on TV are the same people that often sexualize queer young kids with saying that like whole, like their queerness has something to do with sex.
Yeah, like yeah. When did we talk about that in like the unscripted episode where we were talking about how like queerness is innately associated with sex, and that's why people think that young kids shouldn't be taught about gay couples and gay relationships and stuff like that, because like this overarching theme is that gay equals sex and sex equals bad. And so I think that does kind of tie into it a little bit here. And, you know, we're kind of jumping over that. I just totally lost my train of thought. But by like displaying these kind of relationships, it all comes back to that like gay equals sex equals bad thing, and people can't untie it from that because of the type of story that it is, if that makes sense.
I mean, if you don't like sex in shows, don't watch it. It's an adult show. If you're too young to watch it, don't watch it.
Yeah.
it's
as
that
simple
easy.
as that.
There's enough BL shows right now that you can pick and choose what you watch. There's enough fluff. There's enough sexless shows. Go watch them. Don't like get into a space that isn't for you. If something triggers you, walk away. Because it doesn't trigger everyone.
Yeah, I was going to say, you also have to look at, like, the wide lens of all of these shows that are being presented at the showcase. And they're all, like, pretty much, like, vastly different types of shows in different genres that are portraying different aspects of maybe being queer. So it's not like every single show that they're showing is, like, a friend zone type show. Like, there's variation, and I just really don't like when people look down on shows that have sexual content in it, especially if it's queer. Like, no one was having this argument during Friend Zone, not even with the gay characters in it.
And I'm seeing, like, there was a show at the showcase this year, like, The Jungle or whatever, that is basically about a bunch of, like, a group of dudes who, like, want to go and hook up with women. And that's, like, the whole, they have, like, a little 5-people group, and like that's what they do. They like go hunting in bars, hunting for women, and like where was the backlash for that? Like that was also about messy sex and relationships. So like where the double standard is like it's so painfully obvious, and that's what makes it so frustrating.
I want to like tell people, take a moment, think back. How many straight shows have you seen in the last couple of years that hasn't had some form of sex in it?
Not very many.
Please tell me, because I couldn't even
leave a comment. One. Pixie wants to know.
Like even most K-dramas are now like insinuating sex or practically showing it. Yeah. So, dude.
Yeah, the double standard is very obvious, and that's what makes it so frustrating when you feel like you have to defend, like, these shows, and, like, P. Jojo feeling like he has to defend, like, why he wants to make this show against these people that are just throwing these, like, very hypocritical arguments out, and it's so frustrating to watch.
Yeah, listen to the gay community, please.
Yeah.
Like, they've been vocal enough about this that's fine. They feel this relates to their situations most often for a lot of them. So people need to stop being so freaking judgmental about everything. It's getting really tiring.
Yeah.
Right. There are many ways that you can be gay. Like, I feel like that's the bottom line. Not everyone is the same.
Yeah.
Yep. So, next one. I was so excited about this. Dangerous Romance. A low-income straight-A student, played by Kimon, agrees to tutor a rich asshole bully, played by Perth, in order to earn income to help keep his family afloat. So this is a Perth Kimon main couple, and not cute little Perth. This is other
This is
Perth.
Love by Chance Perth.
Yeah.
That cute little Perth.
Yeah.
So there's also Mark, Pavin, and Pepper supporting. We're not sure if there's any secondary couples. And P. Lit is directing along with P. Voravut?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
I butcher
so-
names. That's...
Yeah, but he worked with P-Lit and Meow Ears Up, so that's cool that it's like a duo that's worked together before. This is really exciting because this, like, P-Lit talked to us about, like, having a project with GMMTV when we did our episode with him. And, like, we didn't know anything about it. Yeah, so it was so exciting to see that, like, this is the project. It was funny because, like, I guess Perth and Shimon stans were, like, suspecting that P-Lit would be the one directing this because they started, like, adding our tweets to, like, their threads and stuff about Perth and Shimon having a series. Like, even before the showcase happened, and then, like, once it was announced, like, obviously they were right, so it's really exciting to see that, like, I know people have been speculating they would get a series for a long time now, but to have P-Lit be the one directing it is really cool.
Yeah, I mean, he did such a good job with Love Mechanic.
Yeah. And
So
it has
I'm
a similar vibe, I feel like, in terms of
it does.
the tone of the story.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love Chimon and Perth both so much, so I almost feel like this was made for me. Like, I've been wanting to see more of both of them, especially since Perth signed under GMMTV.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm glad that this is going to be a more serious, maybe, story, because Perth, they're both such good actors, but I really want to see more Perth's potential.
Yeah, so this is his first BL with GMMTV. I think he's honestly, since he's been with GMMTV, has only really done cameos and stuff. Like, he had a cameo on Vice Versa, and I know he's had a couple of cameos in other shows, so, like, I think he was kind of flying under the radar for his first year or so with GMMTV, and now they're just, like, throwing him into a lead pairing in 2023, so it's really exciting to see. Yeah, I think it's going to be really good. I mean, I enjoy Perth as an actor. I haven't seen too much of what Shimon has been in, but I know he's been in some really good stuff, so I think it's going to be really fun to see how the dynamic plays out.
Yeah, and the trailer was really good. Like, it's mysterious, and it drew me in, and I'm excited to see what's gonna happen.
And there's a serious question. Is he taller? I don't know. I think they're both on the shorter side, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they're both short.
That's little one. Instead of like a small and tall or a tall and tall, we get a small and small dynamic.
Like, we do get like a lot of small and tall couples, so it's nice to have like just the even
small and small.
They can butt heads.
Yeah, they can butt heads. It seems like they will be both literally and metaphorically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this one. I think I'm going to be a little harsher on it, though, because I know that Chimon and Perth are both really great, and I want to see them push themselves. So I just hope the storyline like continues to be interesting, because I feel like we've seen a lot of the like, hey, I'm going to go and tutor you now type things. So,
tutor fighter.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought of. That's exactly what I thought of. Yeah, so hopefully the plot lives up to their potential. We'll see.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Pixie, if you like asshole characters, it seems like Perth's character in this show will be right up your alley. Oh my god. I saw this tweet that was like, between Perth in this trailer, Jimmy in The Last Twilight, and was it First in The Only Friends, they were all smoking, and so someone was like, GMMTV's 2023 theme is just cancer.
Smoking.
Cancer.
Oh my god.
Bad.
I will say that when I was younger, I thought smoking was hot. Then I got old, stopped smoking myself, and smelled people who smoke, and it's such a fucking turn off.
Yeah, it's not my favorite thing in the world, but like I know it's like part of the bad boy aesthetic, so I guess I gotta throw it in there.
I feel like we moved in this year, like especially in 2023, we moved past smoking as a bad boy thing.
You would think. Instead, they would be having vapes. That's what the youth of today.
Yeah, that is hot.
Just pull out a vape.
No,
They
that's
look
so
like
corny.
White. Come again.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah, I didn't like that everyone was smoking in Kim Porsche, honestly. I did.
Yeah.
Like, it made sense for the story, but I just... I honestly don't like it, so I hope there won't be too much of it.
Yeah, same.
See.
We'll see. Seems like there's gonna be a lot, but maybe in the final products they'll take some of the smoking out.
Like, dude, these actors are gonna get lung cancer. What?
Well, at least they might smoke in real life, but like usually the ones they use in the shows are like non-tobacco, prop. Yeah, they have some kind of other mixture in them that looks realistic, but
Yeah. Okay, Our Sky 2. So, 8-part anthology series that continues the stories of Tian and Pufa. A Tale of a Thousand Stars. Pran and Pat from Bad Buddy. Cluen and
Dao Nua.
Dao Nua.
Yeah.
From Star and Sky, Star in My Mind. Nong Yao and Palm. Never Let Me Go, Che and Gun, A Boss and a Babe, Talay and Puen, Vice Versa, Ak and Ian, The Eclipse, and Tin and Gun, My School President.
Yeah, so eight couples. So it's interesting because obviously some of the pairings in this are from shows that haven't aired yet. Never Let Me Go, A Boss and a Babe, and My School President is starting like next week. But that makes me think this is probably going to be
the last one of
the last thing from
I'm guessing
year.
so too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but should be interesting. I'm so excited to see like Pupa and Tien and Pat and Pran again. Like when the trailer started and like at first I thought it was like some kind of advertisement because I was like, why are all these like BL boys showing up on my screen? And then like they did the switch to like showing Earth and Mix as like Pupa and Tien, and like my brain just like exploded.
Same.
It was so like I was mouth agape, like gasping every time a new pairing would show up. But I'm excited for it. I mean, Our Sky, the first one, there was only 3, and I wasn't particularly like invested in any of the relationships that they were portraying in them, because it was Kong and Artit, and what are their names from Dark Blue Kiss? I can't remember what their characters' names are.
Pete
and Cow, yes.
Yeah.
And then the puppy Honey. It was the Off-Guns characters and Puppy Honey were the third pairing from Our Sky 1.
Pick and Roam?
Pick and Roam,
Is that what it
Pick and Roam.
Yeah, so I mean, I liked those shows at the time, but I think some of the couples that are going to be included in Our Sky 2, I'm a lot more invested in, and I feel like I'm a lot more invested in BL overall now. Yeah. So it makes me a lot more excited to see some of their stories come back.
Yeah. I mean, we sort of predicted this as well. We've been talking about Our Sky 2 a pretty long time. True. And we did mention that we wanted sort of like Y Destiny style.
You're right. With like all the GMMTV boys.
Yep.
Yeah.
They each get their own stories. I'm excited. Wow, well, it's going to be really interesting.
Clearly.
We are the manifestors of BL, I guess, right now. But yeah, we'll see. I think some of the some of the storylines in Our Sky 1 were very, like, basic, just, like...
Yeah.
But then there was, like, I know the Pick and Rome one, they did, like, a body swap thing was going on, so I'm interested to see, like, how this one's gonna go, if they're gonna go more, like, outlandish with some of the stories, or if they're just gonna really try and continue them as they are, but...
I think the problem with the first one was that they didn't really know how to continue the stories. And I think they probably had this thought for a really long time, so it's probably more fleshed out, and they have a lot better talent working for them. Screenwriters, directors, a lot better this time around. So I have
a lot of the directors, I think, are going to be the people that directed the series. So, like, I know P. Oaf is involved, I know P. Jojo was involved, P. X, who did Vice Versa. So I think they're hopefully... It seems like they're going to aim for all of the directors who did the original series to direct that episode of Our Sky. So that's cool. And, like, you're bringing someone back in who knows the story and knows the characters, and will hopefully do it justice in doing a follow-up episode.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah, I'm ready to go back into my Tale of 1,000 Stars brain rot. I'm so ready.
Yeah.
Even Bad Buddy, like, I'm excited for Pat and
I was so excited for that one. I know people wanted to see, like, more projects for both Earth Mix and and Nanon. Earth Mix, we still have Moonlight Chicken, so, like, at least they're gonna have another project coming out this year.
They have 3 shows this year, so...
Yeah, but I think for Bad Buddy and for Omen and Nanon, like... It's a nice way to pay homage to a series that was so big, and I think that we know that Ohm has talked about, like, kind of wanting to move on and do other projects outside of BL, because he's done so many BLs over the years.
He has.
So, and it's nice that they're still, like, bringing it back to pay homage to Pat and Pren in that way, and, like, I'm excited to see them again.
Yeah, and I think people need to understand that GMMTV aren't forcing any of these actors to do anything. Like, the actors can say no to parts. If they were forcing them, they wouldn't be getting, like, a proper performance from them, and that doesn't help the company. So the company isn't going to force them to do something they don't want to. So people need to stop yelling at GMMTV for not giving them a show, because it's probably them who said they didn't want one. And that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing that they want to do other stuff. You can't shackle these boys to BL. Yeah, I think there's this, like, idea that every time an actor mentions that they want to do projects outside of BL, they get this idea that they're, like, shunning BL and that they, like, hate the genre and stuff like that. And I know there have been actors in the past who have made some not great comments about BL and, like, using BL for money and that type of stuff. But, like, when you think about someone like Ohm, like, you know that's not the case with him. He's so respectful about the genre.
And I think with so many of the actors in GMMTV, like, I think they've shown that they genuinely care about the projects they've done and the characters that they've created. So I don't see them wanting to expand outside of the genre into other types of projects as, like, a shunning of BL, or, like, saying that they hate BL and you know, all the kind of assumptions that I think get made when they say that.
Yeah, and just because they're moving away from BL and doing other stuff doesn't mean they're taking a step up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. BL isn't low class. It's not low class.
True, yeah.
People need to stop thinking that way. And just accept that they want to try something else. Equally good.
Yes, very well said.
Next, Cherry Magic Thailand. I was excited when I heard Cherry Magic Thailand. I was not excited when I heard... Like, okay, listen. I love Tay. I'll say that first. Everyone has an actor that they just don't like, okay? I can't explain it. It just makes me angry to look at him. I just don't like Nui. I can't.
Listen, I'm on board with you because I love Tay, like, more than anything, but I don't like Nui at all. but I know that I'm gonna end up watching out of sheer curiosity anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Of course, I watched Dark Blue Kiss or whatever. I watched all of those. I even watched Waterboy. Like,
why does that show keep getting brought up?
The true torture.
It's like it's burned into my skull. It's gonna torment me for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just don't like watching Nui, and I'm kind of sad that they put Nui in it. I would love to see Tay with another couple. Sorry, Polkas, but
I said Tay-gun.
Ooh,
yes,
Tay-gun would have been good.
that would be perfect.
I think that's part of my problem is that I think Nu is supposed to be playing the equivalent of Adachi.
Yes,
and
he
I
is.
don't think he fits that at all.
No.
And like
No.
honestly, even Tay, I'm like, I could see him playing Kurosawa, but like Nu does
He
not
needs someone
fit the Adachi
more
vibe.
small to play, like to
Yeah, and just like
push off that.
not even like the size dynamic, but just like the what's the word I'm
Chemistry?
looking for? Like the character he gives off is kind of very like introverted and intimidated and like not out of his shell. And I don't know, I just don't think Nui kind of fits the vibe of Adachi.
Yeah.
But I mean, maybe it'll be surprising to me. Like
Dude, we don't know. There might be a change in mains before before it comes out.
Oh.
It's already manifesting that. Like, I mean, it happened with "You Are My Favorite," so who knows?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
I mean,
no. Like, I want to preface this, but no offense to anyone that really like Nui and Polkas and everything.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
Everyone is allowed to like whoever they like. It's just like a personal thing I have.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of people who are really excited for it. I know, the author of the original manga is, like, really excited that there's getting an adaptation is being done.
Yeah, so
and I think it is an exciting thing to happen. I just think, like, there are other people I would have preferred to see taking on the challenge.
Yeah.
But I'll watch it, and I honestly will probably enjoy it. Like, I'm curious to see what Thailand does with Cherry Magic.
We know it's a good plot, like it's a good story, so at least it'll have that.
And I mean, Tay and Nu are familiar with each other. Like, they've been together for a minute as a pairing, so they'll probably be working well together.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people speculated that Tay and Nu were going to be working together again in 2023. GMMTV started promoting them really heavily again, and they've been doing a lot, especially in the second half of the year. I just think, like, I never expected a Cherry Magic adaptation to be like what we would see them in if they were gonna work together again.
Yeah, same.
It's shocking.
Do we think we need a well-established, very popular ship for this to work in the Thai market?
I kind of feel like we do need one.
Me too.
I mean,
I think
it makes
so,
sense that if any production company was going to take this on, it's GMMTV, because they do have some of the most, like, established pairings in the BL genre. So, like, it's cool. And I think they'll be able to do the story justice, I hope.
I'll just say, like, there's a lot of red tape taking a show from Japan and making a remake of it in Thailand.
They couldn't even show the trailer at the showcase because they were still working out the licensing issues.
Is a nightmare when it comes to licensing and everything. Everything takes like 100 years. They still fax there. I mean, it's insane. So
they're sending faxes back and forth to work out the licensing issues.
Faxes only.
No kidding. I guarantee you that's it. GMMTV probably had to like get like a fax machine from their basement or something, like stow down there just to do this.
The whole reason they couldn't show the trailer is that, like, someone typed in the fax number wrong and they didn't get the document.
100%. 100%.
Oh my god.
But yeah, this was the one where, like, when I was watching the showcase and New walked out on stage, like, I knew it was gonna be something with Tay. And, like, I was so confused because they weren't showing the trailer. At first I thought they were gonna, like, do a performance or something like that. Yeah. I was like, are we singing now? But then, like, it got to the point where they were starting to bring in some of the elements of, like, cherry magic, like, what can one touch do kind of thing, like, and I full on, like, gasped, like, audibly. I was sitting in my office at work, and my office mate was like, are you okay? Because I was so shook by the realization that Tay knew we're gonna be doing Cherry Magic Thailand. Like, it was just never in my books in a million years, honestly.
Yeah, I wasn't watching the showcase because I was sleeping, but I saw the tweet thread that Heather and afterwards Alexa was doing on our Twitter, and I saw that, and I just, like, I put down my phone, and I'm just like, I did not see that.
Take a moment. Take a moment to process.
Yeah. Either way, it's, like, a really big deal. I feel like that we're getting a Thai remake of Cherry Magic. Like, no matter who is in it, it's a big deal.
Yeah. And I think it'll be a stepping stone to see, like, maybe more collaboration between the Thai and Japanese BL markets.
Yeah, that's exciting.
I mean, Japan has so many, like, staple BL stories that would be cool to see adapted.
I think also, from what I've seen from a lot of Japanese BL fans, is that Tainu is really popular in Japan. They recently had a fan meeting and everything there. And they're pretty huge just as a couple there. So I think that's some of the reason why they decided to use them for this. Because they're already established, they can get the Japanese to agree to them because they know they have, like, the numbers to push it.
Yeah, that's very possible. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I think in terms of, like, established pairing, like, in terms of, like, the reach that Tainu has, they were a good choice for this. It's just, like, my personal preference, like...
Yeah.
It's not my personal preference, if that makes sense. But, like, I do think, like, the show has a lot of potential, and, like, I am excited to see
and I
what
will
the
give it a
adaptation
chance,
can look like.
no matter what.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, for last, not technically a BL. Well, not technically, not at all
not,
BL.
not a BL, but it must be talked about.
So, 23.5 Degrees is a GL, the first ever GL from GMMTV. A loner, played by Milk, wants to approach her longtime crush, played by Love, but is scared to do it in real life, so she approaches her online under the pseudonym Earth. So yeah, we're getting Milk Love main pairing, and also Gemini and fourth secondary. So technically there's some
BL
boys
side.
Love in it.
Yeah.
I actually love the idea that the boys love couple is the side couple.
Me too. I think it's so iconic.
It's time.
Love
Throw
it.
those boys to the side, honestly.
It's like finally the male characters might get less character development than the female characters.
Yeah. This is going to be a first. Honestly, even outside of the BL realm, that might be a first for GMMTV, period. In any of their shows. But
it
honestly,
was
like,
very cute, the trailer.
I got emotional just because, like, I feel like I thought that there would be a Milk Love series, but at the same time, I was like, did not trust GMMTV to actually, like, come through on that front. So I was, like, excited, but at the same time, I, like, didn't want to be disappointed if it didn't happen. And so, like, when I actually, like, woke up and, like, was awake and saw that it was happening, I was like so excited and emotional, and, like, I just think, like, it's so exciting that it's finally happening.
I knew Milk
this.
and Love were, like, popular, but it's kind of the same thing where I wasn't sure if GMMTV would act on giving them their own series.
Yeah. I mean, I love that they are now pushing more GL. Like, we are currently watching Gap. And there seems to be popping up more GL other countries as well.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting, and I love that Gap so far has been showing the same sort of storyline tropes as a BL. Like they're doing it the same, and
it's like those tropes that draw you to the BL genre, except like we're seeing it with two women now, which is like that. I feel like that's what people wanted. Like I think there was this idea that like if they were gonna do a GL, like I don't know, like it had to be something super impactful or like revolutionary or something like that, and that's why so many places were holding back on doing it. But like we want GL and women loving women media to have the same opportunities and the same tropes and the same things that BL has been getting for like all these years now. So that's why I'm excited that like Gap is playing into a lot of those similar vibes that we saw from Secret Crush on You, like from Idol Factory. And 23.5 Degrees has a lot of those like stereotypical high school BL tropes that we see a lot, and like that's exciting, and like I want it to get the same treatment as BL does and like not be treated any differently because it's focusing on like two women and a relationship between two girls.
Yeah. I really love that Saint is taking chances. Like, this is something that probably no one else would have started except him. Yeah. At least with the budget they have. So.
Yeah. I went on like this whole rant to my sister about how much I love and appreciate Saint as a person. And just like thinking about how he started as this like unknown rookie actor and then kind of created, I don't know if it's like he created his own career, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then now he is staying in the space to try to expand it and better it, which I really appreciate.
With respect. For the genre. And that's awesome. I keep comparing Saint to Mew because I think they did sort of the same thing. They went different ways, but with Mew with his music and Saint with the shows. But they created those opportunities themselves and worked really hard for it, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, especially after like the drama that came out of, I mean, Saint, both Love by Chance and Why Are You, like he went through a lot of crap with both of those shows after the fact. So like it's really exciting now to see him in a place where like he has this company where he's able to do things that he wants to do and that he's passionate about and give opportunities to the actors within Idol Factory and just like bring these projects that he genuinely seems to care about. And I think that's a lot of what makes him really exciting to watch as well.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's gonna be super, super exciting. So, do you guys have any predictions for which shows will be drastically different from their first trailer? I think Afghan's cooking thing will be drastically different.
I think so too.
Comedy is it's like I said earlier. There's a lot of ad-lib. There's a lot of changes to make the comedy make sense, and they need to see that on screen to make it make sense. So I think they're gonna move in a completely different pattern.
Yeah. I had the same feelings about A Boss and a Babe. Like I was saying, I think when they try and go really heavy on the comedy in the pilot trailer, I feel like the outcome, what we see is going to be really different and hopefully like in a good way. I think we'll get to see more like heart of the story, hopefully, as opposed to just like these offhanded comedy moments that they tried to push in the pilot trailer. So for that reason, I thought like A Boss and a Babe and Cooking Crush were the two that I pictured being like the most different from what we initially saw.
Yeah.
And I think they're the easiest to do it with.
We don't even know what's gonna happen because
there's like no way what to expect with those stories. Well,
no.
Yeah.
I really hope that Only Friends doesn't change too much. I agree. I think they have a vision for it and passion for it, and I really hope they don't buckle under by the trolls.
Yeah, I hope they don't tone it down. That would be kind of sad.
Yeah, I think, you know, having P. Jojo, like, I think that he's going to try his best to stick with what he wants to do. And I hope that, like, you know, GMMTV as an overall production company doesn't try and, like, stifle that in any way.
Yeah. So, predictions for the shows that will have the fandom in a frenzy.
Only Friends. Like, that's, like, the...
I think so too.
That's the one I've seen the most talk about since the trailer dropped. And, you know, for good reason. Like, shit was wild. And I think just with, like, the idea of, like, all of the mixing between all of these boys, like, the idea of, like, everyone hooking up with everyone, it kind of takes them outside of their established BL pairings that are in the show in a way. So I think that's going to be really interesting and draw people in. But, yeah. That and, like, I think, like, the dangerous romance, too. Like, Perth and Shimon are gonna raise the roof. Yeah, I have also seen, like, I think Dangerous Romance, Only Friends, and also Last Twilight. Just in terms of story, I think that was one that really struck people as being something very different. And also with P.O. directing, I think people will tune in for pretty much anything P.O. does. Yeah. And he has a great reputation. So I think that'll get a lot of people in their feels, especially in terms of, like, the angst and the sad storyline. I think that'll get a lot of talk.
Yeah. I think, like, Our Sky, too, is probably going to be, like, a little bit, like, people will talk about it, but it's too short for each couple, so people won't have, like, that long time frenzy.
Yeah. I think certain, like, the Pat Pran episode is probably going to go crazy, and, like, the Pupa Tien. I think Our Sky, in general, is, like, it's a fan service project, so I think people are going to talk about the pairings that they're excited for.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how it's going to go with, like, some of the ones that are focusing on, like, newer pairings, like Fourth and Gemini, who are, like, GMMTV rookies, and the people from shows that aren't airing until next year. But I think some of them will definitely get a lot of buzz about them. Yeah. I also think, like, we need to note that we still do have, like, Moonlight Chicken coming next year. My School President is supposed to air starting in a week, and Never Let Me Go, which is the Pond and Pooh in one, doesn't have a date yet, but it is, I think, supposed to start before the end of the year. So all of those will also be falling over into 2023 as well. Like Moonlight Chicken, I think it's going to air exclusively in 2023. But My School President and Never Let Me Go will also be going partially into 2023 as well. So we have those three to look forward to as well.
True.
So there's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Oh, yeah. Definitely Only Friends is going to pop off because people, no matter if they love it or hate it, they'll also watch it.
Yeah, it's going to be talked about.
And maybe the same thing with Cherry Magic remake is people love it or hate it, they're still going to watch it. I think that a lot of the other shows are just going to have to do with timing. Yeah. And, like, if they just pick up on trend at the time that they end up being released.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. It's a strong lineup this year, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it for our episode this week. Let us know in the comments which shows and or pairings you're the most excited about. If you enjoyed this episode, please rate, review, and follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Sharing this episode with your friends really helps us out. Thanks for joining us for this week's episode, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Beforehand, I'm weirder than usual today.
This is how
perfect.
I love it. Please, we need the weird pixie.